Welcome to Accelerate My Practice. So glad you could join me here today. Today I want to talk a little bit about legacy, our lives, what we do with them, what we leave behind. And I'm really reflective as I approach my birthday coming up, and how that's going to impact my life, and how we just keep aging, and am I living the life I want? I love I'm a huge fan of Stephen Covey, the late Stephen Covey, I should say. And his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the most purchased books ever. And there's so many life lessons in it that are really applicable to this concept and thought of legacy. And, one of the ones he talks about is that, begin with the end in mind. What is it you want your life to look like when you achieve it? Because, I love how Napoleon Hill also put it. Things are created twice. Once in our minds, and then secondly in reality. So if you can't conceive it in your mind, it won't ever happen in reality. And that's so appropriate for our lives, for our relationships, for our businesses. If we don't often have a plan. We don't even know where we want to go. We just wander around aimlessly trying to accomplish this thing called success. But most of us haven't even defined what success is. So if you can't define what it is you want, how will you ever accomplish it? Said another way, if I said, hey, come visit me here in Colorado, do you think you'd find me? No, Colorado's a big state. But if I told you to come to 509 Scott Avenue, Suite 2C, do you think you'd find me? And the answer is yeah, because you can put it in your GPS and give you turn-by-turn directions. But why don't we do that in life? Why don't we have clarity on our goals? Why don't we have clarity on our expectations about what it is we want? Because if we don't, we can't do that. That's Stephen Covey's habit of begin with the end in mind. You do it in your practice really well. You come in, you look at me, I got snaggletooth, and in 30 seconds you can tell exactly what you're going to do with me. And then you reverse engineer that to today to come up with a plan to get me there. And you call it phases of treatment, phase 1, phase 2. But we don't do that in our business, we don't do that in our lives, we don't do that with our health, we don't do that with our finances. Why not? It's a brilliant model. So as I sit here pondering about my life, I sit here thinking to myself, am I doing these things? Am I doing them consistently? Because once I have a plan, then the trick becomes, how do I live it consistently? How do I take consistent behavior? Again, I'm going to steal a model from dentistry. You tell me if I brush and floss on a regular basis, my mouth will be healthy. If I don't brush and floss on a regular basis, my health will deteriorate. Why don't we take that same attitude with other things? Why don't we regularly tell our spouses we love them? Why don't we regularly tell our children we love them? I had the pleasure of getting invited to this program at my kids' school recently, and it was called the Father's Blessing, where I was supposed to sit there and tell and share with my child, a 4th grader, how special he was to me. And what was interesting to me, I tell my kids all the time this stuff, so it was no big shock to them. It's still kind of emotional, though. But what was shocking to me, there was this other kid in Dylan's class that I heard him talking to the teacher afterwards. And his dad came, and he lives with his grandma and grandpa because he's got some challenges in life. I don't know what they are. But he lives with his grandma and grandpa. His dad actually comes to this program and sits down and has this conversation and shares with his son how he felt about him. And do you know what his 4th grade son said? I didn't know my dad loved me. Think about that. This kid's 9 years old, and he's sitting there at 9 years old, walking away going, I had no idea my dad loved me. Do you know how common that probably is? Do you know how common it is that we don't tell our children we love them? We don't tell our employees we're appreciative of them? We don't tell our spouse we love them? Man, hearing that, it made my heart hurt for this poor young man. Because when's the next time he's probably going to hear something like this? Consistency in life is the key of everything we do. If we don't have that time, if we don't take that time to do the things that are the most important, what's the point? To me, there's no point otherwise. That's great if we have stuff. But when you die, can you take that shiny car with you? No. When you die and they're doing your eulogy, what do you want them to say? Man, he had great stuff. No. I love how Stephen Covey puts it in 7 Habits. He says, imagine your funeral and you're sitting there, you're watching them give your eulogy. How do you want them to describe you? I mean, be precise about what you want people to say about you when you're not there, because you're dead. And then make sure you live it every single day of your life. Because if you don't, what's it all about? What are you passing on? What legacy are you passing on to your children, to your family, to your friends? Or are you just kind of haphazardly going through it? To me, legacy is so important. I want to leave something behind that's bigger than me. And I don't want to do it for me. I don't want to do it so there's like some thing named after me. I don't really care about that stuff. I used to be really significance-based. I'm not anymore. I don't really care. I just want to leave an impact on the people that are around me, so at some point they say, you know what? That guy wasn't perfect, but he sure worked hard to help people out. He sure worked hard to make a difference. Was he perfect? No. Did he care? Yeah, sure did. That's a guy I want to know. That's the kind of guy I want in my life forever. That's the kind of person I want to be. Who are you? It's so funny. I sit here, like I said, with my birthday just coming up, and I sit here thinking about my life, and I think about the dash. Your whole life's about the dash. Everything in your life is in the dash. Your whole life is the dash. It's just a silly little dash, but it has everything in it. Now the trick is, as you look at your dash while you're alive, it's not done. You can still do something about it. You can still change it. You can still form it. You can still make it anything you want. Your whole life is in front of you. Still. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It matters what you do now and moving forward. You could have been a complete train wreck in the past. That was me. But who are you now? Who are you going to be moving forward? Who are you going to be tomorrow? All of our creators, I don't care what belief you have, right? Most of us believe that there's some creator. Maybe it's your mom. And even if it is your mom, it still applies. But whoever your creator is, they had some belief of what your potential was and what you could be. Are you living up to it? Because if you're not, why not? What's holding you back? You going to wait till the dash ends? Because then it's too late. I just sit there thinking about, am I living up to all the expectations for me? Am I performing to the level I should? Am I doing the things that I should be doing? Am I being the person that I should be? And I like to ask myself questions like that so I can always push myself. I don't ask why stuff happens to me, because I see those as gifts. I see all the challenges in my life now as an amazing gift and an opportunity for me to grow. I believe those problems and challenges are put in my path to help me grow, to give me the opportunity to grow, to give me the opportunity to be better. Because without those challenges, what would I do? When we get comfortable, do we change? No. We change when we feel the fire, when we feel pressure. And it takes problems to do that. Beautiful design. Beautiful design. I now see challenges and problems as the greatest gift I could ever have, because they give me the opportunity to add to my dash and to do something different. I don't care who you are today. I don't care who you were yesterday. I care about who you're going to be tomorrow. What action are you going to take to change that? Because if you're not taking action, you're a fool and you're just talking. Sitting here in the little corner next to a brick wall on a goofy little chair with your smoking jacket on. It's not a smoking jacket. So my wish and my prayer for all of you is that as you sit here thinking about it, that you're really examining your life and figure out, are you where you want to be? And if you're not, what can you do right now to change it? Today's the key. Action is what makes it happen. What are you doing with your life?